December 9, 2025, West Philippine Sea, near Ayungin Shoal. The ML Kalayaan, a Filipino supply boat, is blocked by a massive Chinese Coast Guard vessel. Suddenly, water cannons erupt. Powerful jets slam into the Kalayaan, shattering glass and equipment. The footage captures the violence and imbalance, a small boat versus a giant ship. The Filipino crew's bravery becomes a symbol of resistance. The water cannon's fury has changed everything. For Marines on the BRP Sierra Madre, supply runs are a lifeline. The ship is grounded on a reef, a decaying outpost asserting Philippine claims. Isolation, harsh weather, and constant Chinese presence define daily life. Supply boats bring more than food. They deliver hope, news, and proof they're not forgotten. These missions are essential for morale and sovereignty. Without them, the outpost would fall, ceding ground to China. Every trip is a calculated risk. The crew of the ML Kalayaan are not soldiers. They're fishermen and civilian mariners. They face modern Coast Guard ships in wooden boats, risking their livelihoods and safety. The threat is real harassment, damage, even injury from water cannons. This isn't abstract geopolitics. It's a daily struggle. The psychological toll is immense, but so is their resolve. Chinese ships shadow them, communicate threats, and treat them as intruders. Fear is constant, but so is duty. The crew presses on, determined to complete their mission. Their courage is quiet but profound. Each run is a stand for national pride and survival. The supply line is fragile, but it endures. The Marines depend on these brave civilians. The nation watches, aware that every successful run is a victory. The risks are high, but so is the resolve to hold the line. The supply run is more than logistics. It's a statement of sovereignty. The struggle at sea continues, one perilous journey at a time. The world is beginning to take notice. The footage from the ML Kalayaan explodes online. Raw and unfiltered, it shows the world China's aggression in the West Philippine Sea. News channels from Manila to Washington replay the attack. Filipinos unite in outrage, seeing the video as an assault on sovereignty. Social media erupts with hashtag #AtenAng West Philippine Sea. Protests flare outside the Chinese embassy in Manila. The government faces mounting pressure to act. International condemnation is swift. US, Japan, Australia, and the EU demand respect for international law. The video cuts through diplomatic jargon, exposing the reality: a superpower bullying a small nation. China's narrative of law enforcement collapses under global scrutiny. The footage becomes a symbol of gray zone tactics, coercion short of war. The world can no longer look away. The incident galvanizes alliances and forces a response. The Philippines' struggle is now a global issue. The stakes have been raised. The pressure for action is overwhelming. The Philippine government acts fast. President Marcos Jr. convenes his Security Council. This is no routine protest. The Philippines vows to defend its sovereignty. The Chinese ambassador is summoned for a formal protest. The U.S. invokes the Mutual Defense Treaty, warning that attacks on Philippine vessels could trigger a military response. Defense leaders from both countries discuss joint action. The alliance shifts from words to real planning. Japan and Australia pledge support, offering intelligence and joint exercises. A coalition forms, united by concern over China's actions. The incident is a wake-up call for the region. The world sees that China's aggression threatens everyone's stability. The stage is set for a collective show of force. The Philippines is no longer alone. The response is swift, unified, and determined. Days later, joint Philippine-U.S. patrols appear in the West Philippine Sea. The BRP Jose Rizal sails beside a U.S. Navy destroyer. Fighter jets from both nations fly overhead. This is no drill. It's a real operational patrol. The message to Beijing is unmistakable. The alliance is ironclad. For Filipinos, it's a morale boost and a visible guarantee of support. The joint patrols increase maritime awareness, making it harder for China to harass Filipino vessels unnoticed. The patrols act as a protective shield, deterring further aggression. This marks a shift from protest to presence. The US and Philippines are now willing to challenge gray zone tactics directly. The cost of bullying just went up. The patrols restore a measure of stability to troubled waters. The world watches as the alliance flexes its muscle. The stakes are higher, but so is the resolve. The message: the Philippines is not alone. The region's balance of power is shifting. At the heart of the conflict is international law. The Philippines' claim is backed by UNCLOS, granting rights within a 200 nautical mile EEZ. Ayungin Shoal is well within this zone. In 2016, an international tribunal ruled in favor of the Philippines, invalidating China's sweeping claims. The ruling is final and binding. China rejected the verdict, insisting on its own historical maps. This defiance fuels ongoing tension. The US-Philippines patrols are more than military. They're an enforcement of international law. By operating in the West Philippine Sea, the Allies uphold freedom of navigation and the tribunal's ruling. Their actions challenge China's attempts to rewrite the rules by force. The world is watching to see if law or power will prevail. The legal battle is far from over. The fight for the rule of law continues at sea. China responds with defiance. Beijing condemns the joint patrols, accusing the US of interference. State media paints the Philippines as an American pawn. The Chinese military launches large-scale exercises, declaring no-sail zones. Warships and aircraft shadow the patrols, raising the risk of confrontation. China deploys its maritime militia, swarming Philippine-held areas with fishing vessels. This cabbage strategy surrounds islands, complicating access. China's moves are calculated to match every allied action. The message: China will not be deterred. Its military presence is now a permanent feature in the region. The standoff intensifies, with both sides refusing to back down. The South China Sea becomes a high-stakes chessboard. The crisis sparks a transformation in the Philippine military. Once focused on internal threats, the armed forces now pivot to external defense. The AFP modernization program accelerates. New frigates, missile boats, and fighter jets are acquired. Maritime domain awareness improves with radars, patrol aircraft, and drones. US support grows. Military aid, training, and access to strategic bases. The Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement expands joint capabilities. New alliances form with Japan and Australia, creating a security network. Joint patrols and exercises multiply, building collective deterrence. The Philippines becomes a proactive player in Indo-Pacific security. The goal: prevent isolation and counterbalance China's power. The military's rebirth is rapid and determined. The nation is no longer a passive bystander. The crisis has forged a stronger, more capable force. The Philippines stands ready to defend its sovereignty. The region's security landscape is forever changed. December 2025 draws a new front line in the West Philippine Sea. The area is now the center of a global contest between two world orders. The Philippines and its allies champion law, sovereignty, and peaceful resolution. China asserts power and historical claims. The united response to the water cannon attack proves that unity deters aggression. China's divide-and-conquer strategy falters against a coordinated front. The US-Philippines Mutual Defense Treaty is a living commitment. Deterrence is about willpower and alliance, not just weapons. The joint patrols send a message: aggression will be met collectively. The goal is peace, not conflict. Upholding the rule of law is key. The 2016 arbitral ruling remains the legal foundation. By standing together, the Philippines and its allies protect sovereignty and stability. The world hears the message: in the face of bullying, unity is strength.